investigation is still, this incident is still under investigation, excuse me, apologies. But here's what we know. So at about 6:50 Friday evening, Deputy McCain, who is an 11-year veteran of the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office, was leaving OCS in his patrol vehicle. We believe he was going less than 10 miles per hour, pulling out of the driveway when he hit a security gate that appeared to be partially open. That gate went through his windshield, pinning Deputy McCain in his car. Witnesses and the Edmond police respond within seconds. Someone turned off the vehicle and the vehicle began to roll back. A doctor who happened to be on scene and Edmond police began to give him life-saving measures. Because of their efforts that Jeremy is still alive. I want to point out, Jeremy died 3 times that evening. 3 times to tell you what we're working with and how grateful we are that he is still here with us. The first was at the scene of the accident. Mind you, individuals who were at this school partaking in some of the events that occurred after hours happened to be at the right place at the right time. Doctors and people who were able to provide immediate assistance to save his life. So that was the first time we were able to get him back. The second time was at the emergency room of OU when doctors opened his chest and began to massage his heart for 10 minutes. I mean, how big is it when the doctor comes out to explain the shape he was in and said that he had to massage his heart for 5 or 10 minutes, to keep him around. And then he died a third time in the OR, but was revived. And in all, doctors say he received over 60 units of blood. Now that is a lot of blood, y'all, who understand the units and how that works with the body. That's a lot of blood that he received. We don't know the extent of his injuries yet. We do know that CT scans show, at least right now, there does not appear to be any significant brain damage. Jeremy does have a broken neck, and this is constantly evolving. Excuse me, let me get my papers here. So with that, outside the CT and being hopeful and positive that it doesn't show anything in the couple of days, we're very positive that he still has good brain function. But as far as the injuries, that's as much as we know, the extent as we know about his injuries, and we simply don't know anything else. And the family, I told them that we were going to do a press conference to update the community, to update our citizenry about what's going on, because I understand there's some questions that people want to ask, and I get it, and very respectful. But the family asked us to share a letter that they wrote. So I will address that. And this is from the family of Jeremy McCain. As you all know, Jeremy McCain was involved in an accident. This was something that has brought my family great troubles in many forms. He has defeated many odds, him thus far, and continues to fight the good fight. If any of you have met Jeremy, you would know that he is both mentally and physically strong. He is a warrior. We aren't out of the water yet, but we put our faith in our Lord that he has a plan for Jeremy. We are so thankful for both Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office and the Oklahoma Christian School. They have provided us with so much love, comfort, and hospitality. They have moved mountains to ensure we are all well taken care of, relieving so much stress during this hard time. Many people have reached out to offer help in many ways. The support from our fellow Oklahomans has shocked us in more ways than one. Oklahoma has always been our home, and we now know why. Oklahomans are truly incredible when one of our own is hurting or in need of help. We have received handwritten messages and texts from people explaining how Jeremy is such a great person and how he's had a positive impact in so many lives in our community. Your continued support has brought so much joy and excitement to our family in such a troubling time. It means a lot that Jeremy is loved by so many and has been so influential to the community, and in time will continue to do so. It brings us so much comfort that we have had the entire state of Oklahoma backing us through this difficult time. There were many Bible verses quoted and a lot of letters we received, and one particular verse that was quoted many times. Isaiah 41:10, which states, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand." How powerful is that, guys? This verse really struck home to us, and I believe it represents Jeremy's situation so well. There are several people that we are asking to reach out to us through the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office or the Oklahoma Christian School. We were told that there were 2 off-duty medical professionals that reacted quickly and gave my brother a fighting chance by performing life-saving care until the ambulance arrived. the first responders on the scene that handled the situation the best way possible. We want to meet these heroes and personally thank them for everything they did. We want to thank the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office and Oklahoma Christian School again for everything they have done and continue to do. We want to thank all the staff at the OU Medical Center for taking care and continuing to take such good care of Jeremy. We are so pleased with the care that has been provided and that continues to be provided. These three places have truly proven what going above the call of duty means. They have set the standard for professionalism, compassion, and expertise. We have a long road to recovery, and we are asking that everyone please continue to send prayers for the speedy recovery for Jeremy, aka Deputy McCain. Thank you, the McCain family. So, in closing, then we'll get to some questions. The family also wanted to stress that no one's to blame for this incident, and I will tell you, I've been to the scene myself. I've seen it. You talk about an accident that just happens. Sometimes bad things just happen, and this is one of the things. No one's at fault. There's no negligence. It's just an accident that we wish we never had to speak about, but unfortunately we're here. The family wanted to stress, we wanted to stress there is no one at fault. Everybody is doing their level best to make sure he gets the services he needs and that the family gets the support they need. We want to also thank the Edmond Police Department for their quick response, and we also want to thank the bystanders that were willing to step in and help. I will tell you, and this is a message from Sheriff Johnson himself, you saved Jeremy's life. Those people who were just put there by God saved Jeremy's life, and I'm forever grateful. This office is forever grateful. We want to thank OCS. Your staff helped when Jeremy needed it the most, and you have been at his side since this happened. I will tell you, when a whole agency is sitting around just waiting for updates and grieving for a fallen one, or not fallen, but someone who's truly hurt, critically injured, and we're fighting for life, and you see the support from the school, and they're there too. I think I left the first morning at 4 a.m., and the whole OCS staff was still there. That's power. That's powerful. I think that's what demonstrates what our officers and deputies mean in this community to our community, what it means to OCS, and that it's not just a guy in a uniform. This is someone who's invested their life, invested their time in this community, in these kids, in these administration and teachers and students. And you see it coming around full because they support him just as much. And I think that's something to really highlight here, what our law enforcement in this community really means. And we appreciate the community having our back when we're at our low. We want to thank the media. You have showed remarkable professionalism and compassion through this. I understand y'all have to get the information out. This is what our community asks of you. That's a task that y'all are given, and y'all have been true professionals. And I want to express my thanks for that, because y'all are doing an amazing job and y'all are rocking it. And most of all, we want to thank the public. We believe in your prayers, and this is the reason Jeremy is still fighting. We are also asking that you donate blood in Jeremy's name. And if you would like, join us. There will be a candlelight vigil for Jeremy at OU Medical Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. at the gazebo. There's also a GoFundMe set up to help Jeremy offset some of his medical bills. You can find that on our Facebook page. So with that, we'll get into questions, and I can answer some questions for you all. Ma'am?
Did the gate physically impale him?
No, it didn't. The gate did not impale him. And I will tell you, when you hear it, it can it raises a lot of questions like, how did this happen? It made more sense to me once I went to the scene. So when you see where his car was coming up, he was operating uphill. The gate, it's dark, you just can't see. I mean, he's driven this path a million times. Like he said, he's worked at school for a long time, and the gate was just ajar enough that when it was dark enough, he didn't see it, and when it came through his windshield, it pinned him up against his up against the frame that holds his, you know, excuse me. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Sure. Sorry. Please forgive me. And it trapped him. And I would explain the injuries as more of a crush factor, because when you have a vehicle operating a certain way, and these vehicles don't just stop, even when they're sitting still, they still kind of propel forward, and then you have this steel bar, I mean, it essentially just crushes you. And so that's the injuries that we're dealing with.
So we know for a fact that his neck is broken, but we don't know the extent of any other injuries?
No, ma'am, just because, right now, or how the doctors have explained, they're just trying to keep him stable. A lot of machines that he's on, and we're just taking it one step at a time. We're just able to get the CT scan to kind of track brain function. And right now, they're just trying to wean him off the machines, get him operating on his own before they go any further. And I can understand that.
Do they have any timetable on how long that might take?
It's just kind of how he progresses. It's moment to moment, and I know the doctors are working tirelessly, and when they can, they will, and we will proceed, obviously with caution, but we will proceed as he can do so.
And do you know how long he was an SRO at the school?
So, fun fact, and just to really show you the lineage of this, his brother Daniel McCain, who was a deputy at the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office, was an SRO at this school, and then he was gone, and then Jeremy picked up that spot as well. So, I mean, the family's been invested in this school system for quite some time, and obviously Jeremy's been here for going on 11 years in June. So, I mean, he's been here for as long as I can remember, and he's been at that school for that time.
Can you just touch on the fact that he's a single dad and just how important it is for him to come out of this for his family and for his son?
Ma'am, I think you just pointed out the biggest thing here is because he has a kiddo here that needs his dad. He is a single father. The child has, I don't know if you can put this out or not, but he needs his dad because he's autistic. Jeremy means everything to his kid, and I think it's a lot to be a cop and devote your life to community and to this service, but also have someone that needs you just as much. It's a family effort to take care, and so yeah, it's a big deal to hit on that. He's fighting for his life and to take care of his kid as well. That's a great question. Thank you, ma'am.
I know you touched on this briefly, but for the school to have 4 hours of the auditorium open for people to come pray, what did that mean to you and to this office?
It just, I guess you oftentimes wonder, how much you mean to a community, because there's so many things you hear in law enforcement, and not all of them are positive. I'm honest with that, but I think Oklahoma County is unique because the relationships that we covet, that we love, we value these partnerships with our community members, and I think it shows how much the school system loves and is invested in Jeremy. And I think that's true for everywhere our department touches, or law enforcement in the state for that fact. I just really think we do such a good job at not just being a uniform. It's somewhat, we humanize the badge. It's more than just the guy walking around keeping you safe. I heard today from the administration, he knew all the kids' name in the elementary. I think there's 500 plus kids in that elementary. He knew all of their names. That's not just somebody coming in punching the clock. That is someone who is, it's more than a job. It's a calling. It's a, I love this, I love you. And what they're doing is showing that right back, is saying that, hey, this is a two-way street. We love you just as much as you love us. And I think that's the big thing about this.
Just an aside to that, he didn't not only know all the kids' names, he assigned each one of them their own nickname.
Yes, their
so
own.
Mac is a Big Mac.
Their,
that
yeah,
kind of thing.
their own name. And you would have to know Jeremy. So Jeremy and I was lucky enough to work some extra events with him, grandparents raising grandkids. And I mean, you're talking about a jokester. Oh, nobody's safe from his jokes. I mean, we all received them and all got them, but it's all out of love. And I mean, he's a good guy, just an amazing individual. He's funny, he cares, he loves this agency, he loves the community we serve, and it's really rough. It's really rough. So.
You mentioned there was a couple of medical personnel who were on the scene
Yes.
as soon as it happened. What exactly did they do to help him as far as life-saving efforts are concerned? And does the family know who they are? Are they going to meet up with you?
Well, and I think they expressed that in their letter to the public, that they would like them to reach out because, I will tell you, God always has a ram in the bush. And how is it this freak accident happens and you have medical professionals, doctors, who are right there to respond quickly and don't just look away? I think it's easy to say, oh man, that's not my deal, I don't want to get involved, but they just jumped right in there, started performing CPR, and then when Edmond got there, they continued those CPR and life-saving efforts to keep him around, and then obviously the ambulance got there and took him away and got him to OU Medical to receive further attention. But I think that's huge. I really think that's the community going out of their way, and it's, I mean, you almost don't have words for it. And so we're very grateful. We're grateful and blessed that they were there.
Were they one of the ones that put the car in park or reversed?
Yes, like I said, you have this crushing factor that's coming with a solid and another solid, and you're just trying to figure a way to relieve and get him out of there. And I mean, they knew enough to go and punch it off, and I will say the vehicle ended up rolling backwards and kind of I guess did a little damage to a planter, but nonetheless they stopped that and were able to get him out. And so that was great thinking. And I guess that just lends to what they do in their medical profession and in emergency situations, able to think through cognitively on what do we need to do to continue to work and process this incident. And they did a great job. Anyone else?
Is that it?
I want to thank you all for being here. As updates come, you always know that we will provide y'all with updates, and just continue to pray for our guy. And we want to thank Oklahoma County and the state of Oklahoma for that fact, for sending their love and their prayers. We want to thank OCS, not only for their partnership in the schools, but for their love and their prayers and everything that they're doing, because they have truly went over and beyond, and we're grateful. So with that, I appreciate you guys. Thank you much.
Thank you. I've got a copy of that letter if you guys want.